and Jack here.
Hello.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Putella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about what makes a successful house wholesaler. I
would like just to point out something. You know, the way you just started the show just had a nice ring to it.
Oh, because you're first now?
Yeah.
You know what we decided?
I was first there, but I wasn't first on the names. Maybe we should.
What we decided?
Are we easing into it?
And it's been this way all along, but it was brought to my attention recently that, hey, Jack, it's not about you, man. Hey, Jill, it's all about you.
Thank you.
You're just the sidekick. You're just the guy who's standing there trying to make everybody look a little bit more intelligent. Just trying to.
The one who's doing the math. The man behind the curtain.
The other thing, too, is that Jack and Jill sounds, like we're selling nursery rhymes.
Exactly. So we thought we'd go with Jill and Jack.
So, yeah, it probably confuses the hell out of
it. It makes you think. I hope it does. We'll see. We'll find out.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Okay. Aaron asks, what exactly is SPS, which is a smart pricing service from offers to owners? Have any of you used it? And I see someone's already weighed in and answered here. Kelly said, is that an abbreviation for smart pricing service? Yes. If so, yes, I've used it for a big list and it's definitely worth it. So without getting too into it and too brainy,
I got some instructions today about how the show should go, how we should record the show.
Hold on a moment.
Here's the instructions.
Oh, no.
Hey, Steve.
Jack.
Can you tone it down and just stop making this so brainy and so really not interesting?
Well, I'm right on the interesting part. We like the brainy part. That part's
So I'm going to
good.
sit quietly and listen today.
No, that's not the truth. Okay, so here's the deal. One of the things that we do when we're doing our pricing, we all come up with we have our own way of evaluating these assets, right? Looking at what's available. But let's take a step back. We all know, if you don't, you should, and you do now, that Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor, DataTree, all these companies spend a lot of money to put together their own unique algorithms for pricing properties. That's why when you go on something like Realtor.com, it gives you its value. It's not a made-up number. It's looking at comps, what's available, what's sold, probably square footage. I'm hoping the size of lots in there, 3-bed, 2-bath, whatever it is. I'm sure they all do a version. I don't know all the details, and I don't need to get all the details here now, but they do some version of a informative, elevated, smart pricing. So what we do is...
It's an algorithm.
Yeah, it's an algorithm. Do you want to continue it?
Yeah, so if you'll notice, if you look up your home address on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, DataTree, it's all different. But they're all not crazy different. One's not 500,000 and one's 1.2.
Right.
In very rare cases, that's the situation.
Thank you.
So they all have their different take on what's in that algorithm. The ones that are my favorite are that lean heavily on recent sales or recent listings, not so much on the asset itself.
Right.
And then they look at the lot side and the square footage. So is one better than the other? I don't know. But we don't judge. We just line them all up next to each other and take the average. Yep. And so it's a lot of work to look up all those properties. And we're working on automating that so that you just hit a button and it goes out and brings all that data back into the spreadsheet in the correct format. But until then, a human has to do it. And we choose our virtual assistant team in the Philippines.
Right. So we saw that on offers to owners. You can go in and you could put it, I don't care if it's 10 units or 10,000 units. We hit them with 20,000.
Yeah.
And then they'll work on it. It takes a couple, depending how many it is, it might take hours, it might take a day.
It's never taken longer than 48 hours, and we do some 20,000 unit plus mailers often.
And they sit and look up all those numbers and put them in for you and send it right back.
Yeah.
So, and then it's great because then from there, Jack still does his magic, if you will, and that he uses that as a tool to price our offers.
Exactly. And it's very, very accurate. It's way more accurate and more fun than the values that we come up with to buy land.
Right.
That's more of an art. This is more of a science.
It's Very true.
Today's topic, what makes a successful house wholesaler? This is the meat of the show.
You go first. What do you think?
After I get my keyboard thing done.
Okay. Is everything working okay there?
Before we say, we talk about what a successful wholesaler is, let's just define it. What is a house wholesaler? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sure. I want to see if our answer is the same here.
If you didn't see that, for those of you who are not watching, I raised my hand. Pretty good. And no, I wasn't always that kid in high school that always had an answer for everything. Usually in high school, by the way, I was in the back going, please don't pick me. Don't make eye contact. Like even if I know the answer, let's just let somebody else go. It's too much work. I'm over here doing my thing. I'm only here because I have to be here. So anyway.
This morning, Jill and I were having breakfast together, and we were talking, for whatever reason, we were talking about when we were little kids and how our parents reacted to stuff and how, as parents, we are like, Jill and I just walk around and say, gosh, we're the coolest parents there ever was. I'm sure all parents probably say that. Anyway, I said, what was it like when you were a kid? And she said, I broke a lot of glass.
I said, my dad was really.
What is that? Did you really break a lot of glass?
A lot of them. So yeah, my dad was pretty chill. If anything happened, my dad's like, just come on. Can you get your act together here? My mom's was not that way. No. And so for some reason, I seem to drop glasses a lot. And my mom would always have a fit. And whether it was emptying the dishwasher or just getting them from the table to the kitchen, I have no idea why. I do think I know why. You know what? This is Jill therapy.
I want to hear this too.
You know why? I have been and forever will be someone who wants to make less trips than more trips to and from the car.
Me too.
To and from the kitchen, to and from anywhere. So what do I do? Oh, I load up, man. And so I'm sure that's why. I was probably balancing 16 things because I thought I can do it in one trip, and I was willing to risk it, to try. So what happens is I'm always dropping something. That's why.
When the kids were little, I was always trying to be a better parent, So I read these books about parenting, and one of the things that stuck with me forever was this person who wrote this book. I don't remember even what book it was. They said, there's a really big difference between telling your child that they made a mistake and telling them that they're stupid. Like there can be psychologically damaging forever. Like,
what if somebody says you made a mistake, stupid? That's what.
You drop a glass. It's not that, Jill doesn't make her a bad person. She just made a mistake.
Exactly.
And my parents did not know the difference between that.
Oh. I'm sorry. Yes. No, I got in trouble for the incident, not for being an idiot. That's true. Never mind, I was an idiot.
My parents' whole take on the thing was, this is just another incident that confirms what we knew all along.
Oh, no, you're not that bright.
A long, long list of examples that you continue to add to. This is the most recent one.
Nice. Check. We knew that was going to happen. Oh, gosh. Okay, so back to, what is a successful wholesaler?
What is a wholesaler? A wholesaler is not what you see on HGTV. That is a rehabber. We don't want any part of that. Our group is packed full of people who can't stand, have long thrown their tools away.
Yeah.
We want to buy an asset for 70% of what it's worth-ish.
Yeah.
Mark it up, $10,000 to $50,000, let's say ballpark, and sell it to the person who's going to clean it up or rehab it. We are wholesalers.
It's the easiest thing. I love it. And imagine this, because you're only dealing with other investors. You're not dealing with the realtor who has the couple in the car who wants to drive by and look at it and then bring the kids and maybe even have a picnic there to see if the view's that good. You never know.
And occasionally we hit an asset, we buy an asset that looks great. And we decide incorrectly to
We're gonna
retail
do a lipstick flip kind of thing.
Yeah, we maybe change carpet out or something, and that's it.
Right.
And every single time we do that, we regret it.
We kick ourselves later.
It hasn't happened much this year.
I know.
We did one last year, but we made $100,000 on it. But
We have to catch ourselves.
it took 4 or 5 months to sell, I think.
So much more work.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of
phone calls,
talking.
a lot of
Yep.
real estate agent contact. So if you
Yeah.
listen to the show at all, you know how we feel about that.
Exactly. You know, the thing is, too, when you're dealing with people who are just like you in the like mind, you bought it for cash, they're coming in with cash. You know, they love that you have the inspection, you hand it to them. All they need to do is walk it once and they're done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it. I mean, and that's
And if you do it right, you're selling to the same person over and over again too, or the
Yes.
same 5, 8, 10 people per market.
exactly. So I think we're describing not only what a wholesaler is, but what a successful wholesaler
Well,
is.
That's a wholesaler. So that's great, Steve. Thanks for the definition.
I could have done this
you're
myself
actually-
online.
You're actually still listening. Here's the topic. A successful wholesaler is data centric. The asset itself is merely the result of the manipulation of assessor data and how you've utilized it and looked at it and looked at the market.
Right.
We are data people that happen to buy and sell real estate.
Yeah.
We could be data people that happen to buy and sell stock.
true.
We know people that are like that. Very successful people.
We could be doing this with
Extremely
cars,
successful, yeah.
boats.
But it's data first. So that's, in my mind, what makes a successful wholesaler. But I'm the acquisition guy. And I designed all put this whole thing together from scratch. Like I came up with it somehow. I don't know why. Really, because I didn't want to talk on the phone. Jill, once the mail gets out, if you listen to yesterday's show or whenever it aired, the most recent show before this, I'm done when the mail goes out. I'm done. What makes a successful wholesaler then is Jill. Every single person in our group who does very, very well is on the phone all day. All day. That's what this business is. And so I think there once
You
in a
mean
great,
getting the inbound calls?
yeah,
Okay, yeah. I'm not like outbound calls. It's inbound calls.
inbound calls,
Yeah, I want to make
responding
that
to the
really
mailer.
clear.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what's interesting. I'm going to just say real quick. We talked about this the last show too. We're just with a couple last weekend who thought they knew what we do and realized they have no idea what we do.
Which is we don't talk about it anyway. We're out having fun.
And it was so cute, right? Trust me, we don't bring this up.
They didn't make a mistake.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
Oh no. But what's funny is people, and I can see where they get this. They think this is a cold calling environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. There's no outbound calls.
Whole
It's
concept
all
is
inbound.
you send out thousands and thousands of letters, and then
Yeah.
if you can envision these people opening their mail, all of them simultaneously sitting at their kitchen table, there's only going to be a handful of them that have chosen themselves as a potential seller now. You just
Right.
kind of rattled the cage. Then they've said, wow, this is perfect timing. I do want to sell this. I was just talking to my wife a couple of days ago. We need to sell this house.
Right.
We need to move back to Boston. We need to fill in the blank.
Right.
So they choose you. We don't choose them.
Exactly.
And so 20 or 30 people are going to identify themselves as a seller per mailer. And maybe 3, 4, 5 of those people, the deals actually make sense all the way through.
Right.
From a financial perspective and a location and all that stuff.
Right. That's on a those numbers apply to a how many unit mailer that went out.
for houses.
Yeah.
Those numbers. Well, let's just back into it this way.
Okay.
I feel very safe in saying that between 1,200 and 4,000 people. You want to
Can we
answer this on
answer
the
this?
air? Yeah.
All right, I'm going to answer a real inbound. This is a seller calling me back. Who knows what this is going to be. Ready? Here we go. Hi, this is Jill.
Okay, I called this morning. I got one of your, what do they call it, purchase price things?
Yes.
And I called you this morning because I want this name to be taken off your list.
Okay.
Paul Ronberg at 1435. Well, after the family did a little bit of research, they want to make sure that you do that because it's really worth 3 times that much.
Okay.
When you send things out, as you know, if it's for the seniors that you probably research sometimes,
I
they just
don't.
go ahead and agree. How
No.
are these done?
I do you know what? I'll tell you, and here in Southern California, it's tricky because it's based, a lot of it, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but there are, the way things are valued here in California and what they're really worth sometimes are very different. I totally understand that. And it's a good thing because we all know that you don't want to run down right now to the assessor and say, hey, I'm paying you too little in taxes. You all think my property's worth less. We like it that way. So that's part of the thing. So the bigger question is, and I know sometimes they're off, and I apologize. I did the best I can. But if that price doesn't work and you do want to sell, what price would work? And I'll sure look at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they've already done it. They're not selling.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter what. I could have offered you 3 times what you really think it is,
Well, that's
and you don't want
He's
them.
only 92. He's 92. He's not dead yet, so they're not selling.
Oh, okay. So nobody wants to sell.
We don't want to get any more things like this because we don't get them very often.
I
And
understand.
it's disturbing because if someone isn't here to open the mail, then, it creates other problems.
Okay.
Confusion.
No problem.
And so that's another, if you have a grandfather or a grandmother
I do.
or something, and they go, oh, this sounds good, and they sign papers,
Oh, no, we would.
not going to happen.
Oh, no, I wouldn't let it get to that point, too, by the way. I would make sure and do my homework and make sure everybody's on board. So, and exactly.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about
I
that.
just want to clear that it's taken off because I don't think they're going to sell it,
That's a whole different thing.
event.
Well, you know what though? If someday save it, and who knows, someday if something changes, and you do want to sell it, let me know, and you can call back and say, "Hey, Jill, I know I got this crazy offer from you 2 years ago, but you know what? We do want to sell, and here's the price. And you said you do it quick and fast. I might be interested. So just let me know."
Yeah, it is a file.
Okay. All righty.
I wanted to know what was what because otherwise I'd be thinking about it and going, what?
Exactly.
So thanks for explaining what you're doing.
No
and,
problem.
yeah,
I appreciate it.
I'm into real estate, so,
Yes.
Okay. Thanks very much, Jill.
Thank you. Take care.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
You never know.
That is how you take an inbound phone call.
Thank you.
Jill, in a very firm and very respectful tone, turned that call all the way around.
Thank you.
She was mad. You could hear it in the beginning. At the end, she was thanking Jill.
Yeah.
And that is what it takes.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here. Because I know I say stuff on these shows sometimes and you're like,
Go ahead.
if that is not in your skill set, what you just saw and heard, this business is going to be very hard for you.
Right. And you have to say that with these people. You'd be surprised how many phone calls that I have taken in the last 48 hours that I got a number out of them. They're like, oh, okay. Well, let me tell you, if it was this much money, I would be interested. Okay. Now we know. And so then I go back and we do our work, and then sometimes it works.
Exactly.
It's still a good number.
But to finish my thought, absolutely, Jill. To finish my thought, I don't have that talent that Jill has. I have it if I can. It's in here. I just don't want to do it. That's the truth. So I stick to the data piece and all. And so if you're probably, chances are you're either like me or you're like Jill.
Yeah.
And if you find a partner that's the opposite, you're going to do just great.
Exactly.
I've said this a million times on the air since 2015. When I teamed up with Jill, our revenue quadrupled
Thanks.
like that week because she does what it takes to on the phone with these buyers and sellers and gets them to do what she wants them to do. It's classic Dale Carnegie stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't even have any idea that it's happening. I live with her and she does it to me all the time.
That's it. I don't even think it's that. It's not manipulation. It's really more, it's just figuring out if they really want to sell or not. What's going on? It's not manipulating anything. It's getting to the bottom of
It's
it.
helpful.
So, and if they,
That's how
and
I
you know
look
what?
at
And
it.
if she doesn't want to sell, I'm not going to beat her up. Who cares?
Yeah.
But someday they might. Well, she just told me the guy's 92. Well, you know what? He might not make it to 100. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but hey, that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Maybe my offer was off. Who flipping cares?
For the record, we don't target. We don't
target.
There's no age or there's no way to look at that and assess.
We
your
don't look
data.
at the
You don't know.
obituaries. Could you imagine?
We just send it.
We don't do that. We don't do back tax properties.
Price per square foot analysis. That letter just
Exactly.
happened to get to somebody who was older.
Right.
That's it.
The
next one-
20-year-old down
next
the
one
block
to a
got one
millennial.
too.
Yeah.
So who just bought his first thing? He got a letter too. So that's exactly right. It doesn't. He probably just bought it 6 months ago. Who knows? That property is zoned and priced the way we want it.
Exactly.
So I think we covered it. That was good.
We know your time is valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today. Join us next time for another interesting episode.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community that you can find at houseacademy.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
That was kind of fun.
I think that was incredibly informative.
I hope so.
I was hoping when it rang that it would be like a deal,
I know.
because that'd be cool.
That would be good. Well, I'll keep doing this on these shows now and then. You know,
Yeah.
if I have a good, if when the call comes in, if you don't, it's not, I'll just answer it. I think it, you know what? It helps everybody.
I think it's great.
You got to get over, and you just got to, a lot of people are afraid of those calls. You got to get over the hurdle, you know,
Yeah.
and it's okay. Well, you know, I had a great call today earlier too. I had one that turned out that she didn't want to sell. She's a buyer. I could tell. She thinks I want, because she's already down the process of doing their own. We hit another investor who's already redoing the property. She's thinking she's going to sell to me now when it's current, and when it's done. That's not what I want. However, now I can queue up deals to her. She's a buyer. It's really good. The House Academy Daily Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. Wherever you are watching, wherever you are listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Jill and Jack. Inspiration
And information to buy undervalued property.